we've seen these transfers or move-ins benefit schools like Carl Albert,
Sure.
Jinx.
Yep.
And so the good teams continue to get better and better, and we always hear about the OSA always trying to have a balanced playing field.
Yep.
So I'm going to give credit to Scott Jordan Emig. He's on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay. I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and I found his post. I think it's highly interesting. In fact, I think it should be looked at. Okay. And this post has not been seen by very many people. This
It needs to be vetted.
It is like 12, 13, 20, 19 views. Not very many views.
You getting ready to blow it up?
Oh yeah.
I think it's. I
The
think
show's
it's
huge.
I think
it's gonna blow up tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Here, I'm going to read word for word what he has because he is spot on this. Okay. If every 2 years we took the two most successful teams and bumped them up a class and took the two worst teams and dropped them down a class, then eventually you end up with an elite 6A football conference, while allowing struggling programs to play against lighter competition so they can rebuild and finally start winning some games. There's no reason why Bixby should have been able to win 7 state championships in 8 years at 6A2. There's no reason why Carl Albert should have been able to win 7 championships in 8 years at 5A. The whole point of classifications is to level the playing field and prevent schools with better resources from dominating. The problem is enrollment doesn't equal resources. Inner city schools in Oklahoma City and Tulsa are among the worst in the state because they face challenges that wealthier suburbs don't. The opposite argument can be made for private schools, which is why they currently do play up a division if they have too much postseason success. However, there's a cap to that regulation where they can only be made to play up one division. Courts got involved. It wasn't 2. Courts got involved. Yeah. 3 private schools have combined for the last 6 consecutive state championships in Class 3A, despite each of them being 2A by enrollment.
Yep.
Attached photos are the classifications would look like if we had relegated the teams based on the past 2 year successes. So Tulsa Hell and Altus, they would drop down to 4A, the 2 worst teams. Okay. Podo and Wagner, pretty successful 4A program, up to 5A. Capitol Hill, U.S. Grant, they drop down to 5A. Carl Albert, Del City, up to 6A2. Yukon Southmore drops to 6A2.
5A.
No,
6A2.
6A2.
That's right. Yep.
And Muskogee Stillwater moves up to 6A1.
Yep.
So now you have Carl Albert competing with Stillwater, Choctaw.
Yep.
And you have Wagner competing with McGinnis, Collinsville, Guthrie, Lott MacArthur.
Yep. Yep.
And you have Yukon and Southmore. Instead of going up against Broken Arrow Jinx, you had them going up against Carl Albert.
I mean, if Wagner came up today or Elgin came up today, I'm talking about these teams right now this year, and Carl Albert was bumped to 6A2, they'd be the favorite win state title.
What about
Wagner? They would.
Craig Cunningham, good to see you, Craig. Or hear from you, Craig. Says Washington is a good example of that short of dominance. They could easily play a lot of teams in 4A and 5A, not saying they should be moved there, but yet you get the point.
Yeah.
Absolutely get the point. Washington would highly be okay.
Well, we've seen Stillwater and who's the other team? Muskogee. Mm-hmm. We saw them try to compete with Bixby when Bixby was 6A2. It didn't work out very well. So I don't see them being very successful in 6A1. But I understand. I get the point.
Oh, but they love this system.
Yeah, they love the 6A2.
They wouldn't want that system.
No, they wouldn't want that system. No, they wouldn't.
Carl Albert wouldn't love that system.
No,
and
they wouldn't
be okay.
either.
But you know what? Go get your transfers. Go get your move-ins. Give them all the off-season. Here's our weight room. Here's our swimming pool.
Here's the keys.
Here's
boys.
the keys. This is what it's like to be at a championship school. Yep. Okay, go do it against the level playing field.
I think
competitive.
They would be successful. Carl Albert would not be super opposed against it compared to Choctaw and Muskogee and Stillwater, because I think obviously
Muskogee still would be 6A1.
Yeah, because Carl Albert can 100% compete with 6A2.
Well, they proved that last week.
They would be the favorites. They moved up, which is fine.
Last year they played eventual state champion Muskogee, beat them by 3 touchdowns. Last week they played then number 1 ranked Stillwater Pioneers, beat them 30-0. So it's been proven on the field.
But again, I would like to see that instead of 1. I like to see it move up to 2.
Bump up 2 classes.
You know what I'd like
Washington
to see?
and 4A?
I'd like to see?
That'd be awesome.
I'd like to see if a kid lives in Guthrie School District, the only way they can move is if their family moves from Guthrie School. I'd like to see that. How about that?
Instead of
How
transfer.
about if we just do that?
Are we going back to the conference or the previous conversation?
It's along the same lines,
Gotcha.
though. I mean, when we opened the freaking gate up and started offering this crap last year, this is what you get. You get chaos and complete just insanity in high school sports.
As this guy Scott Emmett continues, as we saw from 5A, Carl Albert shutting out 6A2 Stillwater 30-0 just 2 weeks after Stillwater beat Union. Enrollment doesn't mean much. Heck, Broken Arrow has been far and away the largest school in the state for many years without much football success to show for it.
Well, I mean, they won state that one year.
Enrollment matters.
Fired the coach.
Funding matters. Facilities matters. Coaching matters. Community support matters. Momentum matters. Buy-in from the players matters. A relegated system gives equal weight to every variable of this equation.
I think it should be looked at.
I love it. I
like
do
it.
too. You don't know who this
I like
is?
the concept of it.
I think he's from Sapulpa.
Yeah.
I would
Well thought out.
It's tremendous. I think he brings it up every year, but this is, especially now with all the transfers and move-ins, I think this
would kind of equalize all that.
it would.
Yeah.
And we're doing it for private schools.
Yeah.
What's wrong with doing the public schools?
This would just be for football only, because if Team A is great in football, but then they're terrible in baseball or softball, you don't want those teams bumping up.
Unless basketball wants to look at it for their own sport.
Yeah, I think for sure just football, because everybody loves football. Everybody pays the money to go see football. Football is what makes the money.
But that's just it. In high school sports, you get below a few programs. Ain't none of them making any damn money.
I'm talking about for the schools.
Okay, for the schools, they're not making any real money.
Well, no, they're not. But
this is my whole point.
no.
We're acting like this is some big enterprise with all these decisions.
Gate matters for schools.
No, I get that, but it's high school sports.
I get it, but it's that time of age where you got to go with the times, Phil. You got to go with the times.
All right,
These are the times.
girl. I'm going with the times. My name's Phyllis.
Hey, Phyllis.
Refer to me that the rest of the night. Thank you.
No problem, Phyllis.
Dallas says, I think you would have to cap it. Yeah, Stillwater beat Union this year, but they can't sustain that level of play all year. Muskogee, great bit. 6A1 is a different level. Bixby's just an outliner.
Yeah, but let's look at Capitol Hill.
Go get the transfer. Yeah, we're looking at the top ends.
I mean, if we're only going to look at the best schools, there's schools out there that live with this crap every year. That's why they get 17 kids that come out for high school football.
And maybe Southeast 5A, maybe they work their way down to 3A.
Play where they can be competitive.
2 years in 4A, and then get down to be one of the worst two teams in it. Move down to 3A, and then maybe you go 3-7.